open this meeting of the Stoughton Select Board, Tuesday, July 14th at 7:30 p.m., a little late. We had something had to be caught up on. So if you're able to join us, please stand up and join us in saluting our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anybody that would like to be heard under citizens' comments, please. Ms. Walsh.
Thank you. Cynthia Walsh, 1096 Park Street. This is a little late, but we know that hunger is an issue across the nation as well as Massachusetts, and that rising fuel costs meant people had to cut back on food, and that food increased in price because most of our food is trucked. The town tries to do help the hungry. We have 3 food pantries. Once a month, the Council on Aging delivers food to homebound seniors, and 180 days of the year, the school provides breakfast and lunch. Unfortunately, that leaves 185 days when they don't. So they have an annual summer food program, and this year, so far, they've only published an ad for July. I hope that doesn't mean that there won't be food in August, but in July, they will be serving breakfast and lunch at the high school and the Daw School, and one day at Halloran Park. The program has already begun. It will end July 30th. At the high school, Monday through Friday, breakfast is at 7:45 to 8:30. Lunch is 11 to 12:15. At the Daw School, which is on Pine Street, Monday through Friday, breakfast is from 8 to 8:30. Lunch is from 11:30 to 12. Halloran Park is a special case. They only serve lunch on Thursday from 10:30 to 11. Now, there are some rules. You can't take home food, and you can't take food off the property. So on some days, you'll just have to get there early and gobble quickly to finish your food in half an hour. There's no rules as to who can have the food. Normally, it was for school-age children. But if anyone out there has a question, food service department at the Stoughton Public Schools is 781-297-1051. Transportation is not provided. If someone is bringing their child down to eat breakfast or lunch, and there's some neighborhood kids about, perhaps they could offer them a ride down and back too. The goal is that no child has an empty stomach during school vacation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walsh. Dr. Brown, did you want to be heard? Yes, you can sit right up here at the microphone if you'd like.
Homework already?
Yeah, you know I'm an educator. You know who I am. So I'm Dr. Carol Brown, 70 Drinkwater Avenue, Stoughton. Prior on the Stoughton Public School Committee. Enjoyed it, had a great time. Love all the kids. I was here over 5 years ago for an issue that is ongoing, and it has only got worse. I'm a senior citizen now. The patients are a little bit thin on people parking in front of my house, leaving trash. It is not the people from Stoughton. I'm on Drinkwater Ave. The first part of it is Drinkwater, is Stoughton. The last part of it is Randolph. I am on the Randolph-Stoughton line, meaning I talk with Nancy a lot about the trash over there because it's just new neighbors are in there now, and the place is turning into a ghetto, point blank. You all don't hear from us down there because we managed to take care of our own business down there. So you never hear from us because we take care of things. But it's to the point now, you know, there's trash being thrown around in front of my house. People park there. They park overnight there. Uh-oh, something went off. They park overnight there. The police department's been very helpful. The latest incident I'm having with people parking there now is that if you look at pictures number 1, let me go through those, please. Number 1 is my house when it's lawn's mowed, so I own the 2.5 acres of land over there on a half an acre in Canton. Then if you look at the picture on the bottom of the pink page, number page 1, you'll see the trash there. This is after I cleaned it up, like half an hour after. People park there and they leave trash. I must say it is not the children of Randolph. The children of Randolph are great. I have no problem with nobody's children. These are adults who reside on the Randolph side. If you look on the second page, you'll see where they took the markers and laid them on the ground so they can park on top of them. If you look at the bottom picture on page 2, you see they made a U, like a bow and arrow with the markers. So here's the main reason. Another reason why I'm here is that my son's BMW's there in 2027. The night of the 4th of July, someone threw something at it and sat at the whole window. If you notice how far it's parked in the parking lot, it's not like it's parked at the beginning. So you had to intentionally do something like that. Never had this problem before with vandal. It was just trash, trash, and more trash. And every time I put things up, they'll take them down and park there. And this is the car up close, so you can see a better picture of it. If you look on the 4th page, you'll see, again, trash everywhere. This is they wait till I clean up and they come over there and park, and the trash dust all over again. I'm not used to a nasty environment. And the last picture on page 4, for your attention, is you can see where they hit the windshield and hit a crash across the whole top of it. It's now being costly to live over there. The problem is I'm not scared of them. That's the problem. But something has to be done. Stoughton Police asked me to come here. I came here. I filed a police report. I called them when there's issues, so they know it's an ongoing issue. We try to contain all of the issues we have on that end, up that end. We take care of them as our neighbors. But this is getting to be a little bit crazy. My neighbor, Diane DeChico, who lived across the street, sold her house because the new people in the neighborhood harassed the hell out of her. So she had to leave. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm coming before you all to ask, is it possible, like I asked before, can I get no parking signs from the Stoughton area of in front of my house down the street? Because all of us in Stoughton park on our driveways. That's why we know nobody's there to break in our house. We all have managed to talk to it. We all have each other's phone numbers. And we talk, and that when we have company, they park on our lots. Anybody not on the lot shouldn't be there. There's no parking in Stoughton from November to April. But we're always fighting this parking issue over there. And they just leave our neighborhood a mess. So I'm here requesting that I would love to have no parking signs on the side of the street. If you want me to buy them, I'll buy them. If you want me to have a contractor, I'll have them put it in. But something has to stop. I'm tired of being harassed at this point. They want to retaliate, and I'm not going to. So that's why I'm here to see you all. Again, it's not the children. The children play basketball in the yard outside, and they're fine. These are adults.
Any questions to the board regarding this? Scott?
I remember this came up before, I wasn't on the board. I was on finance at the time. Steve was on the board, I remember. And it's been a long time.
It's been over 5, 6,
So-
7 years. This is ongoing.
I think it's about time that we did something. I think you've suffered long enough. It's funny that I happen to have to go on that street, and there was cars parked in the wrong direction
It's
on
horrible.
Dr. Brown's side.
It's horrible.
And it was like, there was no rhyme or reason to the parking. But they don't even get them tight to the curb. It's just like, hey, I pulled over, this is the way it is. My fanny's hanging in the breeze. So I said before, I stood up when Steve was on the board, and I forget who else was up here. I said, it's very simple. Just make it no parking, Stoughton side. I don't care about Randolph. If you drove up there and saw their trash, the way they put it out, take a trip. It's kind of nice. I don't know how they can balance that much crap on those barrels, and I don't know how those guys take it. I don't know if the truck lifts it or they gotta reposition it and then run it up again. But the trash is everywhere. There's a lot of duplexes on the swing.
They're all
So that's-
duplexes, all of
That's
them.
why you have the overflow of parking. The driveways aren't able to handle everything, and they overflow down. But they don't park like normal people. Park in the direction you're gonna go. They're on the wrong side of the road. They're half up on the lawn. That's why you see rocks and some more, and other people had. And I know the lady that left
Yeah.
and why
That's
she
my
left.
good friend.
And the Stoughton residents shouldn't have to leave where they're living. So in my mind, I think no parking signs aren't going to hurt anything. The Stoughton people will park in their driveways. If it's a holiday, they park out front, that's one thing.
And they let us know that they're having, if my Stoughton, has the people with me, they'll let us know we're going to have a party at this day. And we don't, if you need to put something in my driveway, I don't have a problem, because those are my neighbors. And, we do that for each other. We've been doing that each other since 1991. I've been there since 91 when I built there.
Yep.
So I'm just not used to this new crowd, and this new crowd is very disrespectful, ornery. And, do you call the police or do you call ICE?
So, Mr. Chairman,
Enough's
that's what
enough.
I want to say. You can move on, and then I'll address something.
Mr. Chairman,
Well, I've already put out a request for a phone call to further this up, and I did see Ms. Roberts, 1 second, so I think we can address this in a couple different ways. So I've already sent out a message right now asking for a call tomorrow so we can follow up on this.
I appreciate you.
Okay, so, Ms. Roberts, yes?
yeah, I was going to say the same thing, but a little bit stronger. If, Tom, if you could take a look at that and do something immediate, because Dr. Carroll did talk to Chuck about it, and the word got back to me. Sorry, my phone was off because, I was indisposed. But I think it's a shame that Dr. Carroll has to keep coming back and talking about the same issues year after year. And she's talking about it turning into a ghetto. Her area, the street that she lives on, is turning into a ghetto. She doesn't live like that. We don't live like that in Stoughton.
No, we don't.
Well, unfortunately, and I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else on this board, but I get many, many phone calls about people's neighborhoods. And neighborhoods are changing in Stoughton, and
That is horrible.
unfortunately, people have a right to be messy. People have a right to not mow their lawns. People have a right to park in the street. And unfortunately, those of us who want our quaint little neighborhoods, they're changing. So there are a couple of ways, like I said, and I just got a ding back from what I sent, and we've done some things in the past that we can do.
Great.
And I promise you, tomorrow morning I will follow up. I just got the affirmative, they got the message, so we'll
Thank you so
start. There's a
much.
couple of things we can do, and there's some things we can do that are a little outside the box too, that
Yeah.
sometimes you find out a lot. So,
Okay, and then Matt comes over all the time,
yeah,
from DPW.
Matt's hands are full. He's got so much, again, because this town's changing. You know, there's a lot of people complaining in their neighborhoods, you know, parking. People park all over streets. It's different. And unfortunately, as I've said, there was a home that I saw that I had to say to the resident, I mean, I won't use the word I used, but I said
Don't
they
use
have
the
a
word.
right to be that way.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody likes a nice, clean lawn. They don't like mowing their lawn, so it grows up and over, and, you know, and the
And
only time,
I don't have a problem with that, I don't think. My issue is that when they come in front of your house, they park there, they smoke herb. I don't drink, I don't get high, so.
right,
and that's not good. I
Yeah.
can't sit in my yard.
yeah.
That's never happened to me before. I mean,
Well, see,
I
that's,
left the city to be here, and now with new gentrification, it's not like that.
Right,
Like,
right.
we are more of the problem out here now.
yeah, and as you know, we do have strict guidelines that we can't just be throwing up no parking signs
No,
everywhere
I
because,
understand.
but that's what we have to do, it's that balance. But I promise you, I'm going to look into that, and
Okay.
we'll get something going so that we can at least address it.
I
And,
appreciate you.
Maybe
Thank you so
find
much.
these people that are doing it, because there's ways to find that out, too,
Yeah,
so.
but they're still sneaky there.
Well, you fight sneakiness with sneakiness,
Okay.
right?
I
So,
get you. I'm
Is-
saying it.
And Dr. Carroll will make sure that this is followed up on.
I really do appreciate you, Jeb. Thanks so much.
Quite welcome. You have a nice evening.
Okay, thank you so much.
thank you, Dr. Brown.
Not a problem.
We'll have somebody get in touch with you, myself, or somebody else will be in touch with you. Okay, thank you. Anyone else on citizens' comments? Okay, hearing none. Select Board comments, I'll start with Steve Cabey, down in the end.
I've got no comments. Thank you very much.
Scott?
I do. I got a call from a couple of residents, but mostly I called back a gentleman who I knew would explain the situation better to me. The new intersection up at Canton Street, when the traffic is headed towards West Stoughton, that's not me, Cynthia, I'm not doing it.
No, I think you got the lousy mic
Again.
crackling.
You did it on purpose.
Is that better? Yep, okay. Thank God. When you're heading towards Sharon westbound, the light changes. It kind of, that light favors Central Street, so the traffic backs up. It goes past Chief Donahue's house sometimes. So, one time I was stuck in it all the way back to Southworth Court. So Mr. Ventresco called me, Peter called me, and he said, hey, I got a problem here. He goes, I can't get out of my driveway. He goes, I can't turn around because my grandchildren got their cars parked, and I can't get around, I can't get out. So I asked him to come so that he could explain the situation to you, so that you'd understand where he's coming from and what he's looking for some remediation or something. All right, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take some, we're not going to get into this
Well,
long
not
because
a full,
it's...
just, he just
Yeah.
wants,
Yeah,
you
no, I
know,
understand.
set the
No,
tone.
no problem. No, I understand, so that he can be heard. But again, you know, we are under selectmen's comments, and, you know, this is more of a hearing if we were going to do something like that. So, Mr. Ventresco.
Hi, Peter Ventresco, 587 Canton Street, town meeting rep. All right, this is a serious problem. Me getting out of my driveway is like playing Russian roulette. And they can change the lights, they play with the lights, time and everything else. No matter what they do, the traffic always backs up past my driveway, and sometimes it's past Brook Street, and on Central Street, it's past Brook Street too, the same way. The thing is, the traffic going east from west, speeding up, they come around the corner, they have the lights, and they're speeding pretty good. When they get to my driveway, the traffic's backed up bumper to bumper, heading west. I can't get out. Once in a while, somebody will let me out, but I cannot see the cars heading east. So every time I go out there, it's like playing Russian roulette. And I come close to hitting somebody, and no matter, it's going to be me at fault because I'm the one that's cutting into the traffic. So this has been For 2 years, I've been taking videos and pictures to bring here so I can show them on the screen, but a few months back, I was mowing my lawn, and my cell phone fell out of my pocket, and the phone got disintegrated, so I lost all my pictures. But I've been dealing with the town engineers department. They always say it's the state Department of Transportation. You got to talk to them. Well, I did, and they said it's got nothing to do with them because it's not their project. The town hired the traffic engineers to design that job. All its Department of Transportation do was run the job to make sure it was done right. So I'm back here. It's a town problem created by the town, and it's a dangerous problem, not just for me. Other people come visit me doing the same thing, and my granddaughter's trying to get out of there. So something has to be done. There's a couple of things that could be done, but it's going to take money, and I don't think I should be the one to spend the money to do it, because it's not my doings. And before they put them permanent lights up, they had temporary lights on 50-gallon barrels blinking red for all directions, and all you had was 4 to 5 cars in each direction backed up, and everybody was kind to let people go through, racing through. Once some lights became permanent, red, green, it's been a nightmare with traffic. So I'm asking you people to do something before I personally are going to kill somebody, or they're going to kill me.
Okay.
So
Again, I'll meet with Mark
I wish
tomorrow.
you'd speak up a little, because I hear.
Well, I'm
perfect.
talking into the microphone, okay? Sorry you can't hear me. I will talk with Mr. Tisdale tomorrow and get that conversation going to find out what we can do, and within reason, whatever we can do, and see what we can do to rectify that for you.
Well, like I say, I'm hoping you do something, because it's going to be a tragic
I
accident.
just told you what I'm going to do.
All right,
okay.
thank you.
Okay, anything else, Phil? No? Okay, all right. I don't have anything. Deborah, do you have anything?
No, Mr. Chairman, I do not.
Okay. Steve didn't know. Okay. All right, great. So, town manager comments.
No comments tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, so next is number 5, to consider the designation of Paul I'm going to say Giannakoulis, if I'm correct. Is that close? Member of the Board of Assessors for a special municipal employee and to grant exemption 20D, votes may be taken. So, Stephen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Steve Dunn, Director of Assessing. I come before you tonight to ask that Paul Giannakoulis, and you did that perfectly, become a special municipal employee. Paul wishes to help us with inspections of the properties. It's a twofold thing. One, we need to do them for the sales that happened last year, the prior year, and also for DOR cyclical inspections. Something we're supposed to be on within every 10 years. We're supposed to be at every house. And we're a little bit behind on that right now. There is a document in your package that I put together the first couple of pages that explain to you some of Paul's background. And the really helpful thing with Paul is he's been an appraiser for almost 20 years. So there is zero training I have to provide Paul. I can hand him a handful of things, a whole stack of things, and say, Paul, can you inspect these and get them back to us in 2 weeks? And he'll come back with the data that I need on them to get entered into the system. So that's going to be extremely helpful to us. We do have Alex Castro, who is from MCT, and I asked him to come on so that he could explain this, the second 2 pages of the document that get into a lot of the state rulings regarding board members performing work for the municipality that they're appointed. Hi, Alex.
Hello, everyone. Everyone on the board. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
can hear me? All right. Okay, so I'm going to try to break this down as quickly as possible. The reason we need to, if the board does in fact want to do this, the reason is that the conflict of interest law in the Commonwealth prohibits municipal employees from holding 2 municipal positions or from having 1 unpaid municipal position, then adding a paid municipal position. That's a conflict under section 20, right? So you have, what they have to do is to find an exemption, right? There needs to be an exemption that they meet, or they're going to be violating the conflict of interest law. And again, there's no exposure here for the town. It's the exposure for the employee, but still, we don't want him getting in any trouble. So the only exemption that he could meet is 20D, section 20D. The other exemptions only work for when the second position is in a different department. Here, the second position is the same department. So the only exemption that applies is 20D. And 20D requires a few things. One, that he fill out a disclosure form. Two, that the select board approve the disclosure form by a vote. And three, he needs to be a special municipal employee for this exemption to work. For him to be a special municipal employee, you need to designate the Board of Assessor position, the select board does, needs to designate the Board of Assessor position as a special municipal employee position. So that's what needs to be done. And a final issue to avoid any conflict of interest exposure for this gentleman, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name as it was already pronounced so perfectly, but section 21A of the conflicts law prohibits someone from being appointed to an additional position when his or her public body oversees that position, which is why here we need to have the town manager be the appointing authority as opposed to the Board of Assessors. But that's a separate issue. He can appoint. The issue here, again, just to summarize for the select board, is threefold. One, to make this work, you need to designate the Board of Assessors position as a special municipal employee position. Two, you need to vote to approve the 21D exemption.
All right, I'm going to look for a little more clarification, because
Please.
I think we have a little blurring of the property lines here, where the select board does appoint the assessors. So where we're going to be having the town manager appoint this position. This is a first for me, that I've been on the board that this has been asked for. So, I mean, you're going to have to sell me a little bit more as to why it's needed. What are we not getting done now? This is going to fix.
We're not getting the inspections done. And I have a board member who we were able to find last year, because I did a little research and found that we have 2 appraisers registered with licenses in the state. Paul was kind enough to respond, and you folks approved him last July to serve on the board for a 3-year term. I mentioned in one of our board meetings that I was having a hard time getting out into the field myself in completing these inspections, and he said, hey, I'd be more than happy to help you out. So that's when I started investigating it, and through talking with Alex, he said, okay, the only way that this can be done, because you're on the Board of Assessors, is through designating that position as a special municipal employee. Because again, it's not something, it's really protecting Paul through the state ethics law, because he is a Board of Assessors member, and now he's going to be going out into the field, and we're going to compensate him for each property he goes and visits. He's going to bring that data back to us. The people in the office, either it's going to be myself, the assistant assessor, or the data entry individual there. One of the 3 of us are going to be entering the data into the system, but we have the inspection completed out in the field. And it's that's the work that's going to be completed and help us get that done.
So what's the difference of us not just hiring a vendor to do that for us, and we wouldn't have the potential conflict to start with?
I can tell you the thing that I like about Paul doing it is he's got 20 years under his belt. I can think of numerous towns that will hire a vendor to do this, and I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to get the same vendor every year. It will take you anywhere from 12 to maybe 18 months to really get a handle on how you grade properties in a town, because it's a series of repetition to get out into that neighborhood and get a feel for it. The best thing I can recommend to you, or to get it in your mind, is you might buy something on Amazon that you buy regularly, and that's great, you get that, and that's fine. But there's that one-off thing that you buy, and you get it, shows up at your house, and you're like, that's not what I wanted, so you send it back. That's why going to the actual store and touching and feeling it, that's where our job becomes important, to get out to that physical location and see it. If I have a consistent, same person doing that year after year, it's immeasurable to have that same person doing that kind of data collection.
But we have a member of the Board of Assessors, which basically is just going to be a full-time position, or how many hours are we talking?
No, this is at best part-time, and this is paid on a per-job basis. This is not an hourly position whatsoever.
Part-time, how many hours part-time? How many weeks?
It would vary, because most of my inspections happen generally in the springtime. I try and pull them off in April, May, and June before it gets too hot, so that I can do the interior work when it's, like tomorrow, when it's going to be 94 degrees out.
Okay, and so this is going to be a ramping up of what we do now.
Yes.
What are we doing for outreach to the residents prior to that happening? So that they
Anybody,
know this, because we've spoken on the phone about one that a property owner on Tosca Drive was very uncomfortable. We spoke about that one.
and I talked to, who did I remember somebody came down and talked to me about it. It just can't, it's not coming into my mind of who I actually talked to about that. And I actually talked to our vendor about that, and I think it might have been Mark that came down and talked to me about that.
Well, I spoke to you on the phone.
Okay, all right, okay. Then
Yeah,
it
I
was-
spoke to you on the phone because I got a phone call from the property owner on Tosca Drive, and they were uncomfortable. The person was coming in, they thought, asking way too many questions. So I think that's what I had mentioned, is if there's a flyer you put in there in the person's hand to say, just read this, that explains why.
Which that
because-
person had,
Yeah,
if
'cause
he
they
was
would
going
just-
to that
If
business.
somebody knocked on my door and said they're here from the town without any credentials on or anything like that, I mean, I'd be a little leery too.
Yeah, but the individual that showed up at that business, he has credentials from the company he works for, and he had a letter with my name on it
Okay.
in his folder to be able to show those people.
Yeah, but again, I think when we do that, if we're going to pick an area, there should be some kind of a notification. Even we mail out to the property owner.
Right.
Mail it out, we'll be out.
What we try and do to cut down on costs is we use, we actually get postcards. So if you
Okay.
purchased a house recently, we generally try and give you a couple of months to get settled in your house, and then we'll send out the postcard and say, hey, you can go out to our website and you can answer a bunch of questions here. It's great that a person does that, but I still have to get out to that property because I need to make a physical visit, make sure that everything that is on that parcel is listed on our card, make sure that the property is listed correctly as well. So anybody that is purchasing the property is going to get a postcard from us. If we're going to start a real ramp-up of cyclical inspections, we're going to order cyclical postcards in that section of Stoughton. We'll get that mailing.
Okay. I just don't want to see what happened,
Yeah.
people were caught off guard.
100%.
If we're going to do it, we do it right.
Right.
So I will, after my colleagues speak, I have a question of the town manager. Scott? Questions?
A few. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm reading what you wrote down,
Yep.
and there's a section that you put in, or whatever, it says, designating the Board of Assessors members as special municipal employees is crucial. This is a member, not members.
Right.
I'm not going to vote for something that's going to slide the whole shield over the whole group, that everybody's going to have their hand at being a data collector. So that's one thing we're going to change in here. Then I read 20B all the way down, and then 20D, and then it says, this must be your opinion, which is the last, because it says 20D exemption is the only one that applies here, so the board needs to vote one to designate board assessor members. Member, we're talking about one person again tonight, because this becomes a document that rolls forward, that everybody thinks they're now a data collector. I don't know what it takes. We have a data collector. Do you have to have a degree to know that stuff? I would think there's got to be something that got to designate you that way, right?
Right. I'm going to answer something, and hopefully Mr. Castro can answer as well.
Yeah,
Paul
Steve,
is,
I'm happy to jump in when you're ready.
yeah. Paul is the only one that's coming before the select board to do this job. Currently, we're only a two-member board as well. So, and I did talk to our other member, and she has no interest in participating in doing any of these inspections. So right now, we're looking at just having Mr. Giannicolis do them. And it would be up to our town managers, his position, to be able to actually review his resume. If he wanted to interview him, he could do that as well, and find out what his background is before he would actually approve him to actually do this data collection. I brought Paul in front of the board tonight because 19 years of actually doing appraisals, that certainly qualifies you. He has a state license from the state of Massachusetts to appraise residential properties, and that's predominantly what we're looking for him to do, is inspect the residential sales and do cyclical inspections as well. Alex, do you have anything to add there?
Yeah, just to kind of
Yes.
clarify a couple of things.
Yeah, Mr. Coulter wanted a clarification here, so I'm
Yeah,
going to recognize him.
I think we're going down a rabbit hole here, Steve.
Okay.
The question that Mr. Carrera has raised, is the term member versus members a typo, or is there an intent of other people being recognized as a special employee?
That's where I want Mr. Castro to come in and answer that for us.
Was your intent to have more than one, or just the one
At
individual?
this time, it's only one, but in the future,
But it says members.
correct, but I'm
That's
going
a
to let.
broader policy.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I need to jump in here.
Yeah.
So, under the conflict of interest law, if you're going to designate a municipal position as special, you have to designate the position itself. You cannot designate an individual person, only the position, right? So there might be only one of these positions, like, let's call it assistant to the city clerk, right? Or a town clerk in this situation. Then I designate that position as a special municipal employee position, meaning whoever occupies it is a special municipal employee, until the select board votes to revoke the designation, okay? Also, so all it does is give the position itself, not the person holding it, but the position, whoever holds it, right? It gives the position itself, whoever's holding it, not the individual. It gives the position itself the ability, whoever holds it at that time, to have these exemptions available to them. It doesn't mean you have to invoke the exemption. It doesn't mean the select board has to approve the exemption. It just means they're eligible for it.
Okay.
Right.
If I may, Mr. Castro, I apologize. I didn't get your title, who you're with. Are you working for us, or where that came from?
Oh, no.
You've got a wealth of information.
I work for you. I'm town
What's that?
council. I work with Brian Winter's office.
Oh,
me,
okay.
Calvin
Well, I
Costa.
didn't know he was with the law firm. I didn't hear that at the beginning. That's why I was
Oh, I'm
asking.
so sorry. I didn't. Oh.
No, maybe I missed it, but I didn't hear it. Okay. No, Mr. Carrara didn't either, so that's why I'm asking. Okay.
Oh, of course. No, I apologize if I didn't properly introduce myself.
No, it's okay. Okay,
I got more.
okay, Scott, again?
I was going through the permit application, and it says, it's checked off, I'm not a mayor, alderman, or city councilor, and then it says, I serve in a municipal position for which no compensation is provided, or, now you're a lawyer, they get paid. It's not a lot, but they get money for being an assessor.
You mean the Board of Assessor members or the?
The Board of Assessors members, that gentleman there that we appointed gets money. This is where I had a
he does?
problem.
That wasn't
This
part
is
of
where
my-
I had a problem when I talked to Mr. Coulter, that somebody from the town hall took a position in that office. And I said, has to be a special municipal employee because she's working for the town.
Can I just,
And they went, that person won't take the pay. But we didn't give it a designation. We should have, but we didn't.
so just, just as a point of reference, there's, none of the board members that we have are accepting the stipend right now.
Oh,
None of my
okay.
board members are.
Okay, I'm gonna step in here.
I'm
Stan.
just going
It doesn't
by-
matter whether
Yeah,
they.
the
Wait, let's
paperwork-
hope, let's not talk over each other, because we're not
Well,
accomplishing
I'm trying
any.
to finish what I have to get out, and then everybody can pin me to the wall. It's a paid position. You want to give this thing a designation as a municipal employee. The next person who goes in can say, I want the money. It's a paid thing per charter. Per charter. You can't make the rules up as you go along. This is the problem I have.
Yeah, all I'm trying to do here is I had a qualified individual.
Don't listen.
No, I am listening. I am listening. That if Paul decides he wants to relinquish or resign from his position, and we get 2 new members, and they come in and they get paid, but then they also want to do inspections, it would be up to Mr. Coulter to determine and look at that person's background, their resume, and are they qualified to go out and actually do this. I had an individual who I was lucky enough to find last year, I believe, who has 19 years' experience appraising residential property. I think that's a fair enough time to be qualified and an expert in valuing residential properties. I can't even imagine how many homes he's inspected. And to me, I look at that as such a benefit to my office to help me complete a few inspections per year. I get 100% what you're saying, that the Board of Assessors in the town of Stoughton does have a stipend that they can receive. And so if you do designate it, I would have to assume, and I'd have to have Mr. Castro, verify this for me, but in the future, somebody comes on, they may want to accept that stipend and also do inspections. But are they qualified to do them? Not everybody is qualified to do an inspection.
All right, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to share, I'm going to jump in on this, because we're going down the rabbit hole right now, and I think we need a little bit more information to come back, to make a
Mr. Chairman, I have
decision.
some comments.
Ms. Roberts, one second, let me just finish, and I will recognize you. We're not going to be making a decision tonight. There's no way. It's just not going there. So I think it's best for us to have the town manager meet, Steve, with you and town council, come back with a little bit better explanation to address Mr. Carrara's concerns that I think are very clear. And then I think, Ms. Roberts, you go right ahead, Ms. Roberts.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's to the select board members and to Tom. I served as on the assessing board for many terms, which means I've seen a lot. There was a situation that set a precedent, and that's where Danielle Justo was an attorney, and she was asking for the same exemption, and it was declined. And at that time, I got it. I understood why there should be a separation of duties and why the board has the authority to appoint the assessing board members. When you start blurring the lines, then that's when we start having to double check things. People change over. It becomes a little more complicated. The rules and guidance were implemented for a reason. I'm against this because, number one, I do not want to give up my authority to appoint members to the Board of Assessment. Number two, there was already a precedent set with Danielle Justo when she asked for the exemption for municipal employment. And then number three is because there is more involved behind the scenes once someone does have the exemption. It's complicated, and there should be separation of duties. And that's it. I mean, if Paul wants to do inspections, he clearly has the background and the skills to do such. Well, he could resign from the board and then that leaves you with a vacancy. And then Tom hires him, and you hire him, Steve, so he can do inspection and bring you up to speed. On the flip side, you really need him to be a board member because no one is really applying for those positions, and you have a lot of vacancies.
Okay,
So
Ms. Rabbit,
that's what it is.
Deborah, Tom wants to respond to that, so I'm going to recognize the town manager.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mr.
sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for the record, I did speak with Steve at length about this today in his office. I had wished I had had the opportunity to express what we discussed. Second of all, the reason we have town council here was to prove to the body, the select board, that this process is the prescribed process for shoring up a staff that is wholly understaffed. There's nothing illegal about it. This is the prescribed process. Third of all, to every decision, there are unintended consequences. Perhaps the applicant who wants to work on a per diem basis to do appraisals makes that decision to leave the Board of Assessors so that he can do the appraisals, so this process isn't necessary. If that's the case, we're now down to one assessor. We're already down one. This will put us down two. It's a more complicated issue than we're here to discuss today. Now, Steve, to Scott's defense, if I saw when we discussed today, it's a members and not member, I would have been equally concerned. So we just have to be more careful with council's explanation and with the application to talk about whether we're talking about a single member or whether we're talking about a wholesale policy of members. So I agree, Mr. Chairman. Let's put this off to a future meeting. We are in a bit of a crisis with the Board of Assessors. And is it Paul?
Yes.
If Paul decides that he wants to take advantage of assessing appraisals in the field, which we need desperately, and he has to step down as an assessor, then we can't take any votes in assessing. We've put out applications far and wide. If it weren't for Fran stepping up, we'd have no assessors. Nobody wants that job. It's a common problem in municipalities across the Commonwealth.
Yes.
Because you have to get tested within a year of taking the position, and we've had many people who have applied and wanted to be assessors and either couldn't pass the test or chose not to study for it. So it's a problem across the Commonwealth. I'm sure Mr. Castro can speak to why this special provision has been created. It's to address a crisis. So if we can get on the agenda again.
I think, yeah, we'll put it on another agenda, and that'll be opportunity to
Yeah,
have
take
council
way too
get
much.
more engaged on it, because I think you can see right here that I don't think the votes are here to pass it tonight right now.
Okay, I'm happy to engage now or later. Y'all just tell me.
Yeah, no, we'll have another meeting, before we set it back on an agenda, so that everybody's on the straight and narrow where it is, and so it's a little bit more informed. And if we do something
If I could-
different, have you come in on one of the days that council's here, and we can maybe have one-on-one meetings to clarify some people on it. You know, it's becoming one of those issues that'll take the whole night to discuss. So, all right, so with that, unless somebody wants to object, I'll just put this on a future agenda, set up the meeting with the town manager, the assessor, and we'll go from there to get it prepared for another agenda. Scott, real quick?
And Paul, this does not reflect on your skills or what we did before making. I just want everybody to know it's nothing against you. This is, it protects you as much as we want to straighten out.
And there is and the other thing too, there's a definite, when we talk about, there's a definite difference in authority. We appoint assessors. Town manager manages the assessing department and the employees. So there would be a clear difference.
Mr. Chairman, the point is you would not be appointing an assessor for this position.
No, I understand that, but we appoint the assessors. I just want to make sure that anybody watching tonight knows there's a complete difference of authority here.
And I want everybody to understand that the request tonight was not to appoint an assessor.
Right. No, I understand that.
Okay.
So, thank you. Okay, so,
Thank you.
all right, so we're done with this. Ms. Walsh, I'm sorry, I'm not going
Thank
to
you,
take any
Alex.
input on this. So we will get this going behind and a little bit better clarification and set it up for another agenda. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.
All right, item 6, consider the temporary relocation of Albert N. DiStefano Square. Votes may be taken. There is a letter from TJ Recupero in our packets, item number 6, if everybody has read that. I think we're all familiar with the issue, is that when the layout was done for Fano Drive, it was not what was expected, and Mr. DiStefano's Square was put there based on what we thought was the roadway layout. So now with the building project going on and the engineering going on and marking everything out, there's a need to move that. So all we have to do is, because it is a square that's recognized by the town, and the property, we own the sign. As we all know, the family put a stone there and plantings and all that. And I believe there was no opposition to the relocation by the family. And we would be moving it, relocating it for the family because it wasn't their error. So this should be a real quick, if anybody has questions, but it should be a real quick vote.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, no, I think, TJ, I think we're all set. You know, your letter was very clear. That's why I was just kind of summing that up. But no, without a doubt. So Ms. Roberts made the motion. Who was the second?
I did.
Scott, second the motion. Any further discussion? On the motion, Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Chair votes in favor.
Nice work, TJ.
Much.
Thank you, TJ.
Great night. Thank you.
Okay, item number 7, approve the minutes of the meeting of June 9th, 2026, and B, acceptance of the donation from the Copeland Family Foundation to the Animal Control Department. Is there any conversation, any questions? Hearing none, on the vote, Mr. Cavey?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Ms. Roberts, go ahead.
7A, there was a little typo in there, and Gilda made the change. Other than that,
Okay,
no other questions.
okay then. So no other questions. On the vote, Deborah?
Yes.
Was there a motion?
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Deborah, you made the motion, right?
I'll make the motion. Motion
I'll
to
second it.
Okay,
consider
so Deborah made the motion,
agenda
Steve, and
with the
Scott seconded. I
approval-
thought she did.
with the amendment to meeting minutes June 9th.
Okay. So motion's made and seconded. Deborah, on the vote?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Chair votes in favor as well. Okay, and then this one is now we are, and then on the consent agenda, there's both of them.
Yes.
And then executive session. And that one, we are. So this is to the approval of the executive session minutes for May 26, 2026. Has everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes? Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion's been made to approve. Is there a second? Ms. Roberts dropped off.
I'll second.
All right. Motion made and
Well,
seconded.
I was just checking the date to make sure that I was actually at this meeting.
You were at them all.
No, I wasn't at the last one, but the June 9th I was.
Yeah, let's see if Deborah clicks back in. She's up there. I can see her name. Hope she's okay. She hasn't been feeling great. There she is.
I'm back.
Okay. So Deborah, did you have the opportunity to review the executive session minutes of May 26th?
Yes.
Okay. All right, is there a motion for approval of the executive session minutes, May 26, 2026?
I made it. Steve
Scott?
seconded.
All right, I'm sorry. So the motion has been made and seconded. On the vote, Deborah?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
I vote in favor as well, unanimous. All right. Okay, and then we'll be going into executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A and 2, to conduct strategy session for a preparation of negotiations with non-union personnel. So is there a motion to go into executive session as read?
I'll make the motion to enter.
All right, motion made by Scott.
And I'll second that.
All right, on the vote, Deborah?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
I vote in favor, and we will be adjourning from executive session. We will not come back to open session. Thank you all for joining us. Good night. And if I could, let me stop 1 second, and I forgot to do this at the beginning. I wanted to extend sincere condolences to the family of Jean Malin, who passed away at the age of 93. Jean was a backbone of the town of Stoughton, the Historical Society. Her and her husband Leo, her son's police officer Stu Malin, her other son Scott Malin, Stoughton Fire Department. Leo Malin was a member of the Historical Society and our Grenadiers that retired back in the mid-2000s. They were a public service family. Jean Malin was the position held was the town manager's secretary under the Phil Farrington regime. And yeah, she's the zoning secretary. She's put in a lot of years, and this family has been dedicated to the town of Stoughton. So, Stu and the town of Stoughton will always be in our prayers as a Leo. He was a great finance committee member and just a real good guy. They didn't make him like him anymore, and Jean. So again, my condolences to that family. All right, so we will now go into executive session. Thank you very much, folks, and be safe, be happy.